Hey team, I wanted to make a quick video. I have been making a few videos this evening about just thoughts on vulnerability, on power, on observation, and communication. And I kind of wanted to circle back to talking about power a little bit. I kind of mentioned how I've kind of seen a new focus on, and it might just be where I'm at in my life right now, but people trying to take their power back and trying to establish their power, their voice. And I think you want to know your power, and you want to be able to express yourself and know your own strength, and that you can make a difference. And I think that was what I was lacking for a very long time, that I didn't know how much I could do. I didn't know that I could make change. I would go to school, and I would, do the work, and I would do the assignments, and, and all that stuff. And I was always waiting for the next step. I didn't realize how much I could do on my own with my own time, because I was just following the schedule, and I didn't realize how much power I had, essentially. And I was very shy, and I just didn't realize I had my own mind, I had my own perspective, and I can't even imagine how much I thought that was worth saying that went unsaid. And that's something that you can't bring back, you can't change. And and how much, if it's not said, if it's not talked about, if it's not written down, or how long does it stay with you? How much have I forgotten in the however long that it just didn't get expressed, didn't get internalized, and didn't get it didn't make a difference when it had the potential to make a difference. And that's one thing that I needed to learn, and I feel like I should have learned that a long, long time ago. And so it's an interesting dynamic, because I come from a place where I did not have my own power. I did not know my own power. I feel like it seems like a very large emphasis from what I'm seeing, especially with the rise of the internet and, intercommunication and intercultural communication. And, and that's a good thing, like being able to globalize and hear a lot of perspectives and talk things through on a social platform where you can get everyone's perspective in one place. And that's an amazing thing. It's so good. Yeah, so I think that it's great to be able to use your voice, and to know that you can use your voice, and to listen to other people's voices. And but I think sometimes, and I've heard different philosophies on this. Some folks will kind of needle people on purpose, like internet trolls, or will be outrageous in what they say in response to your opinions, just to maybe get you thinking differently, or to kind of open up the conversation and allow other opinions to come to the forefront, because obviously if you're being outrageous, more outrageous things can come out, and slightly less outrageous things can come out safely. And so it's so that's okay. It's not a bad thing to have those alternative voices, and to learn from them, to respond to them, to grow with them, and to that's not bad to have those alternative perspectives. For sure, it's you can only grow from the diversity of thought, but I, then someone, kind of mentioned they are trying to, if you are trying to subjugate the other person, if you are trying to grow your own power, while also, to the other person's detriment, I don't really approve of that. I think, and that comes down to the power dynamics as well. If what is the overall lesson here? What is the, but I come from an education background where you want to teach people, and I guess some, if you are pushing another person down, you're teaching them that to get, to fight to get back up. But if, it's but it's there. I'd say there is a dynamic there where it's, if that can be very unhealthy if you are thinking that you are so much better all of the time, or if you have that sense of privilege, that sense of power, and if you are trying to hurt people to increase your power. And I think the vulnerability of the person involved is definitely a factor. If they have that autonomy, if they can defend themselves, if they can fight for themselves, and in theory, most of the time they can, but sometimes those invisible strings, you really, they can't, and they can't defend themselves. And there are other voices that support them, and that don't agree with the person who is just out there to cut you down. And so I think that to me, that seems very unhealthy. And I think that that's kind of an example you kind of see in different literary works that I know I've read a few where, you have to know when to take the ring of power off, when to, a lot of books kind of land on you have that power and you go and go and go until you win, you succeed, and at whatever cost. And then you realize the folly in what you've done. You let power run its course. You let power snowball into power, into power, into power. And then you realize the ramifications when it's too late, or, so I think, and you often hear power is very difficult to control once you have power. It's, you want to get more of it, or it's, once you have power, you have to fight just to keep it. And I think that that's why I'm very pro recognizing vulnerability and recognizing humanity, just because I am seeing more power dynamics, and that are concerning to me. I've recently met a number of individuals I don't agree with, that are not willing to communicate. And so it comes down to that communication. And I think that what I've seen is very narrow-minded and narrow-sighted. And I think that's that doesn't go along well with my education background. But I've also in my education courses, a rising tide floats all boats, and you want that diversity and you want that multiculturalism, in order to grow. You want those different perspectives. And then, there's that study of which, what is going to move society forward. And, there's an emphasis on, efficiency and all those things. But I think that it kind of, and then it's, if you have so much power as a single individual person, what can you do with it, and who do you want to be when you have that kind of power? That, I think, is the bottom line, what I land on every time, because I don't agree with some of the perspectives that I have been seeing, and I think that they are poorly representative, and I think that they are unfair, and I don't see the other side of the argument enough, and I don't see people fighting for that, and like an actual dialogue happening. It seems like it's all very one-sided, and I don't think that is necessarily what we need. And so I just kind of want to remind people to kind of think about who they want to be, and that's also a thing, permission to be wrong, and I've heard this, if you can swing things enough, you'll never have to be wrong. But I don't approve of that. I don't agree with that, because you have to be wrong in order to grow. You have to know how to do, you have to do things wrong in order to grow. So, and that vulnerability comes into play there again. And that's, vulnerability as a power is very powerful. And so I just think that that it's a difficult thing, and your power is a slippery slope. And, I always kind of thought that knowledge was power, and being able to be genuine and honest and articulate, and being genuine and honest and trying to articulate perspectives and listen to perspectives is where the power lies. And so I just think that I have seen the opposite in such a way that it concerns me, and so I just wanted to bring it up and kind of see what your power is and how you are going to harness it and how you are going to take it and help make the world better. I want to see who you want to be with the power that you have. So that's what I have to say, and I'm going to stop this video now. So